The eighth theme reveals the lineage of Korea and the origins of all humanity for the first time. Hwandangogi is a precious history text that comprehensively uncovers the lineage of Korean kingdoms. It is the foremost treasure trove of sacred historical texts on planet Earth. The first Hwanhin of Hwanguk came from Mago Castle. Hwanguk was said to consist of 12 states around Lake Baikal. Amazingly, the names of these 12 states are mentioned in the Sangsaeng II of Hwandangogi. They are also recorded in Taibek Ilsa, the latter part of Hwandangogi. The name Sunpe in Hwandangogi refers to the central state of Hwanguk. Sunbi and Sunpe stand for the same state, written as phonetic transcriptions of ancient pronunciations. The Indian culture emerged from Yangwon-guk, one of the 12 states. Sumeri-guk and Uruk-guk were the roots of Christian civilization, Sumer. However, traces of Christian history connected to Sumer were erased. There's an interesting reason behind this. China and Japan distorted the history of Korea, especially its deep relation to Hwanguk. China's Northeast Project claims kimchi, hanbok, and the song arirang as Chinese culture. This threatens to strip Koreans of their cultural identity. Artifacts dating back 4,000, 9,000 years have been unearthed from the Hongshan culture. Initially, Korean historians denied any link between Hongshan and Korean culture. However, no Chinese historical texts can interpret Hongshan culture, so it was dubbed a mysterious kingdom. Later, China claimed and promoted Hongshan as their cultural relic. Literally, Korean historians handed over their ancestral history entirely to China, but we shouldn't resent them for it. What we must do is apply and practice the essence of our culture into daily life. The more we fill ourselves with the universe's light, the freer we become. When Hwanhin Gyeong-Jeon, who later became the founder of Hwanguk, was 9 years old, a grave incident occurred in Mago Castle. So he left the queendom with his mother, the 15th and final ruler of Mago Castle. From the era of Hwanguk, global civilization began transitioning to a male-dominated culture, triggered by climate change, economic issues, and rebellions. This shift brought about a male-centered culture rooted in power. This was also when worship of Sangjeonim, the Heavenly Father, began as the origin of various festivities. A golden age of longevity continued through 7 generations of Hwanhin. When Hwanhin Gyeong's mother passed away, she said to her son, "I'll now take the flower from my head and give it to you." The flower was a flower of light, which divides countlessly emitting light. It is a flower that blossoms fully through thought, bursting with light. And today, I'll help you receive the flower. Anyone can receive the flower of light, and can practice the flower of light meditation for at least an hour every day. Even if you're very busy, just setting aside an hour or 2 a day for practice is enough. And the 4th ruler of Hwanguk, Hwanhin Ju-uyang, popularized the sound hum as a healing vibration. The last, 7th Hwanhin, Jiwiri, had a son named Kurbal Hwan, who founded Beidel. Kurbal Hwan means to enter the realm of light of the universe and remain calm and firm. He gave himself the Tao name, Kurbal Hwan. When the 7th Hwanhin decided to establish a new nation due to declining national fortunes, Kurbal Hwan, his son, proposed a southeast region as a suitable location. Gyeong-Jeon led 3,000 followers, settling by a picturesque lake east of the Great Khingan Mountains. Nearby lived the Tiger Clan and the Bear Clan. The Tiger Clan was cunning, while the Bear Clan wasn't. The women of the Bear Clan were a little short and were said to live together in small groups, sometimes 10 or 20, and in some cases as many as 30 or 40. The men from Hwangguk were so handsome, like modern idols. This led to a tragic incident where a lovesick girl from the Bear Clan drowned herself. This really happened at that ancient time, and it was a great concern to the queen of the Bear Clan. Hwanhwa was also incredibly handsome, who I call Mr. Universe. And he was 198 centimeters tall. I personally presented him with a payback offering. So the queen visited the place of Hwanhwa, where she met the leader of the Tiger Clan too. Kurbalhwan suggested they practice intense meditation. Following his words, the queen meditated in a sunny cave for 100 days, dedicating the last 21 days to achieving enlightenment. The history text Samguk Yusa also tells this story. Saying a bear turned into a human, that kind of childish interpretation, even a grasshopper wouldn't say something so absurd. She should be honored as the queen mother of the bear tribe. Even the earth itself knows that truth. And yet, just look at the textbooks we give to children in Korea today. They call that nonsense history. What we should be doing is letting young people play freely, guiding them through meditation, helping them become one with great nature, and opening the eye of the heart so they can perceive the very essence of the universe. The founding of Baedal, the first nation of Koreans, was achieved by the union of the Hwan clan and the Bear clan. In other words, Koreans' paternal ancestors are the Hwan people and maternal ancestors, the Bear people. The Bear clan later moved south of the Songhwa River, becoming the Habek clan. For example, Go-Ju-Mong's mother was from the Habek clan. The fifth ruler of Baedal, Hwanung Taewi, was the father of Taiho Bokui, who created the 8 trigrams that was the foundation of the Korean flag. Hwanung Taewi had 12 children. He sat them all down and said, "Now, breathe. Breathe deeply. The light of Sahamsin of the universe is entering you." This practice was called Chosik Bojong, regulated breathing and refined energy. As noted in the Hwandangogi texts, Chosik means to harmonize the breath, and Bojong means to perfect one's essence. The first step of meditation involves forming an orb of essence in the lower danjan. When 70–80% of this orb is formed, visions of vast seas or clear waterfalls may appear. This orb must be formed for you to encounter Gyeong-Jeon, a spirit that transforms human genes into those of light. Once Gyeong-Jeon appears and resides in your body, the process for creating an immortal body begins. Some achieve this in 3 weeks, others in a week if they have been consistently practicing. For many, it takes several months or 100 days. The hum sound was popularized during the reign of Hwanung Unveiling, the 8th ruler of Baedal. The 14th ruler, Hwanung Chiwu, is the origin of immortalism. The name Chiwu means to govern a realm. However, the Chinese changed it to Chung, meaning worm. This falsification occurred because Chiwu defeated Xuan Yuan, the Han Chinese ancestor. Hwanhwa, originally a royal from Beidel, caused trouble on the borders for 10 years. He claimed himself an emperor and finally subdued by Chiwu and his 50,000 troops. Chiwu breached city walls, forcing Hwanhwa to kneel in defeat. Afterward, Beidel weakened through warfare, and Gyeong-Jeon succeeded it. Gyeong-Jeon was a confederation of 3 sub-states. This system mirrored the universal principle of Samson, the 3 primal spirits. Without understanding this cosmology, it is impossible to properly grasp the history of Gyeong-Jeon. Korean historian Shin Chae-ho also spoke of the confederation system. After Gyeong-Jeon fell, refugees moved south, establishing a new 3-states confederation. These 3 states evolved into Silla, Baekje, and Gaya. The first Dangun had 4 sons, and the youngest name was Boyo. Later, Boyo's descendant became the 44th Dangun Gumul, who renamed the nation Daebuyo, meaning Great Buyo. Haemosu, the founder of northern Buyo, was Go-Jumong's great-grandfather. Counting from the reign of Haemosu, Goguryeo lasted for 900 years. Until now, we've learned that Goguryeo history spans 668 years, but only Hwandangogi reveals the full truth. To conclude, the culture of Flower of Light is deeply embedded in both the East and West. What is the ultimate teaching of Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Christianity? Let's begin by exploring a story from China.
The culture of light and flower of the East and West. In humanity's history, flowers have been referred to as the epitome of true beauty, serving as the ultimate symbol that influences birth, death, and even the afterlife of humans. Moreover, through flowers, one can glimpse the spirituality and sanctity held by different cultural realms, as well as the aesthetics and philosophy of ancient people. Now we're about to start the story from Hwanhwa, the land of light. Hwanhwa is the most ancient of all. Hwanhwa was humanity's first nation, established by the people who became one with the cosmic radiance. Hwanhwa inherited the flower of light from his mother, the last 15th ruler of Mago Castle. It was a flower of cosmic light, originally transmitted from grandmother Mago. Since the Hwanhwa era, the rulers of Beidel and Gyeong-Jeon preserved the culture of the flower of light, and they founded and governed their countries based on the philosophies of Chunbugyeong and Samilsin-go. In that sense, the flower of cosmic light symbolizes the philosophy of Hongik Ingen, enlightened ones, and represents the authenticity of the culture of cosmic radiance. Flowers in Chinese culture, Taoism, and Buddhism. China, wanting to become the master of the East, claimed itself as Zhonghua and called the Han people as Hwaran. Hua has 2 meanings, shine and flower, which literally translates into shining flower. China erased the history of Beidel and Joseon, the fountainhead of the flower of light culture, and called themselves the flower at the center of the world, pretending to be the master of Eastern civilization. However, the ancient culture being excavated in China reveals the archetypal culture of Beidel as it is. The symbols and iconographies of Samson, the 7 stars, and the 8 immortals are being found not only in northeast China, but also in the regions of ethnic minorities. Particularly, the tradition of the Miao people clearly exhibits the original form of the culture of Hwanguk and Beidel. First of all, they honor Chiwu as their progenitor. They dance in a large circle, with the flower of the sun placed at the center of the circle. When Hwanungko Balhuan established Beidel, Bango also founded a nation in Sanwei Mountain in China, following the order of the last Hwanan of Hwanguk. Bango was followed by the Yumiao people, seemingly the ancestor of the Miao people. Also, according to the memoirs of Han, China, by Sima Qian, King Yao forcefully relocated the Miao people, who served Chiwu to mountain Sanwei. The Dunhuang region has more than 1,000 grottos adorned with iconographies symbolizing the flower of immortality and heaven-earth humanity. On the ceilings of the grottos are full of beautiful patterns of lotus, and mural paintings depict flying immortals holding a flower of light. A passage from Taoist canon reads, "The universe is filled with profound light, and wherein the Holy Spirit shines, the flower resides." The book, Secrets of Golden Flower, says, "The golden flower signifies light. When your body is filled with pure yang energy, the golden flower blossoms within your body." In Buddhism, the lotus, the flower of light, symbolizes the origin of all beings, resurrection, rebirth, and immortality. According to the Avatamsaka Sutra, a single lotus blooms and radiates its light across the entire universe. The Lotus Sutra also speaks of the universe as a single flower. To conclude, the Buddhist worldview also corresponds to the culture of the flower of light, bestowed from Grandmother Mago.
As you saw in the video, Buddhism says the true form of the universe is a single flower. It is the realm of the lotus treasury. In later times, people began referring to it as a lotus flower in the material sense. In truth, the original flower was the Yul-yeowa, the heavenly flower of cosmic light bestowed by Grandmother Mago. In Yul-yeo heaven, it is known as Yul-yeowa, and it contains within it the 5 creative transformative powers of the universe. Only when all 5 are present does it become a true flower of Yul-yeo creation transformation. You will encounter this flower when you reach around the stage 3, the wish-fulfilling pearl of omniscience meditation. I read a book by a Chinese scholar that mentions about the name China. The author explained that it originated from the ancient Chinese custom of wearing a flower ornament on the chest. I believe this relates to the culture of the flower of light, probably meaning Chinese people are at the center of the culture of the flower of cosmic light. Today, even the Chinese have lost connection with its original meaning and interpret it differently. The name China comes from Emperor Qin Shi Huang, and the term Han Chinese has its root in the Han Dynasty founded by Liu Bang. We need to understand the name China from the perspective of humanity's original culture. Now, shall we watch another video together?
The flower culture in Japan. Japan also directly received the influence of Singyo, spirit teaching. According to the history texts Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, Japanese history begins with the 3 gods and the 7 generations of deities. And interestingly, this mythology came from the philosophies of Samson and the Seven Stars, an archetypal cultural element in Northeast Asia 6,000 years ago. In Japan's Shinto shrines, the culture of light and flower continues to thrive. The meaning of Toshogu, the mausoleum of Tokugawa Ieyasu, is that the sunlight begins to shine from the east. In the shrine, you can see various flower patterns which symbolize the Tokugawa family. At the site of Tokugawa's tomb stands a 3-story octagonal iron pagoda. The numbers 3 and 8 represent Samson, 3 primal spirits, and the 8 immortals. During the Matsuri festival, priestesses dance with flowers adorned around their heads. You can also see a flower of light in the costume of the traditional Japanese play, Hagoromo. Bodhisattva statues of the temples in Mount Goya and Okinawan funerary urns decorated with flowers vividly describe this heavenly flower of light. Then, when was the spirit teaching of Beidol and Dangunjo's son introduced to Japan? The secret lies in the goddess of Mount Fuji, Konohana Sakuya Hime. Konohana Sakuya Hime, the great-grandmother of Japan's first king Jimmu, is the daughter of Oyamatsumi, who is the god of Mount Baekdu in Korea, worshipped by the Baekje immigrants. This suggests that Konohana Sakuya Hime inherited the spirit teaching of the Mount Baekdu region. Konohana Sakuya Hime translates to a beautiful princess smiling with a flower in her hand. In summary, the goddess's flower originates from the flower of light, the quintessence of the spirit teaching dating back 10,000 years. Konohana can also be translated to flower on a shindansu tree. Shindansu, a sacred tree of life, signifies becoming one with God and light. To conclude, King Jimmu received this sacred flower and became the first legitimate ruler of Japan. Historical record in Hwandangogi also testifies to this story. It states that in 667 BCE, Heyupyahu Bebanmyung crossed the sea and subdued the 3 islands. This figure is Jimmu, the first king of Japan.
One of the most unforgettable and striking moments in this video is the vision of the female mountain spirit of Mount Fuji in Japan, which is destined to erupt in a great explosion in the future. The princess holding this flower and smiling, that's Konohana Sakuya Hime. And this flower is what truly matters. In Buddhism, it is the very same flower that the Buddha silently held up with a smile when passing down the Dharma lineage. That flower is this very one. And that flower represents the Hwanhwa flower, which resembles a white lotus and has 16 petals. At the center of the universe's realm of light resides the Holy Spirit of great emptiness.
Hwanhwa flower is the very expression of my heart. I offer you the essence of my creation transformation contained within this single flower.
The name Hwanhwa means to determine one's becoming an immortal. However, Grandmother Mago said, since you are not yet an immortal, call it Seoul Yeohwa flower. If you wish today, I will let you receive the Seoul Yeohwa here. Today, if you truly wish to receive the Seoul Yeohwa, I intend to immediately bestow its energy upon anyone, right here and now. Would you like to receive the flower?
사쿠야 히메라고 하는 이 말이 사실은 모든 것을 상징한다고 볼 수 있어요.
The goddess name, Konohana Sakuya Hime, means a beautiful princess smiling with a flower in her hand. When did this culture of sacred flower become forgotten?
왕가로는 이제 고주몽 정도까지는
It clearly continued until the Goguryeo and Daejingguk kingdoms in Korean history, because they taught the scriptures Cheonbugyeong and Samilsingo to their people.
이제 끊어진 것이 이런 지금 조선 왕조라든지 지금
Eventually, that flower culture was entirely lost during the Chosun dynasty, about 100 years ago.
그걸 사자성
It is well captured in the four-character phrase,
바로 저 유명한
which appears in the Dojeon, the scripture of Jung Sando
경서
Wongjol Gyeong-sok.
이걸 이상하게 해석하는데 환웅천왕
Wongjol signifies the severance of the culture of enlightenment, and the flower of light, which was passed down from Hwanung, was severed.
웅절 경서원 한번 집에
About the meaning of Gyeong-sok, please think about it for yourself.
웅절 여기서
With the phrase Wongjeol, I hope you have a great resolution, I will be born anew.
이제
Now, shall we turn to the flower culture of India?
The flower culture in India. Hwanguk's spirit-teaching culture spread via Gyeong-Jeon, one of the Hwanguk 12 states, to the Indus and Himalayan regions, shaping today's Indian civilization. The essence of that culture is clear in Om Mani Padme Hum, a six-syllable mantra passed to Tibet. Aum, Om, and Hum, consist of the jewel, Mani, and the lotus, Padme. Om is a primordial sound of the universe, Hum its completion. Om was discovered 25,000 years ago in the Mago civilization, and Hum was discovered during the era of Hwanguk. These two sounds are two great primordial sounds of the universe, forming the foundation of today's meditation culture. Om and Hum, sounds of awakenment, are found in Hindu scriptures, including the Vedas. The two cosmic sounds are embodied as light in humans, as a jewel or flower. In this context, in the spiritual cultures of Hinduism and Buddhism, the flower, the lotus, symbolizes spiritual completion and divinity. In Indian practices, the 7 chakras, centers for receiving cosmic energy, are symbolized by lotus flowers with varying numbers of petals. The highest chakra, Sahasrara, at the crown of the head, is symbolized by a lotus with 1,000 petals. In the Hindu Trimurti, Brahma, the creator, is said to have been born from a lotus, while Lakshmi, Vishnu's wife, and the goddess of wealth, is often depicted with a lotus in 2 of her 4 hands. It is said that when Siddhartha took his first 7 steps, lotus flowers appeared to support his feet. In the 5 Buddhas' topmost Samadhi Sutra, Siddhartha Gautama transmitted the Daiguangchui Ju mantra. It is said that great light filled the 3,000 worlds and transformed into a great lotus flower. Padmasambhava, the master who brought Tantric Buddhism to Tibet, has a name meaning the one born from a lotus. The Indian deity Kirtimukha provides a key clue linking the Mago civilization, Hwanguk's spirit teaching, and Indian spiritual culture. For example, in ancient Hindu temple ruins, strands of gem beads and lotus flowers with stems emerge from Kirtimukha's mouth. This suggests that 25,000 years ago, when the flower of light was passed down from Mago immortality culture, meditation for attaining a divine body began, ultimately evolving into receiving a cosmic light flower, the origin of the Korean wave culture. However, humanity has lost the roots of its original culture, and the human spirit has darkened. As the cosmic autumn period unfolds and returns to its origin, we must reclaim the spirit of cosmic light, Hwan. Then, how can humans shed darkness and become beings of light? Like the ancients, by receiving the light flower and awakening our dormant divinity through meditation, we can become true beings of light. Now is the time to experience the divine wind, Hungyu, the source of the Korean wave, and awaken its true essence.
In Indian culture, there is Kirtimukha. This corresponds to the Dokkaibi culture in Korea. The primal source of cosmic existence, the formless creators of light, the one spirit and nature spirit, are referred to as Mangyang, the three primal spirits Mangyang. When they opened time and space, it was through the invisible touch of waves of light that the universe began to tremble and unfold. This moment of creation allows for various interpretations. The five directions, east, west, south, north, and the center, correspond to the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The deities who open time and space are called the five emperors. We recognize them as nature gods, represented in Goguryeo murals as the azure dragon, white tiger, red phoenix, and black tortoise. The black tortoise is depicted as a turtle with a snake's head, but that snake head was not originally part of it. It represents a genetic band. Over time, such depictions became distorted, but we have corrected all of this in our meditation scriptures. At the center resides Heodokkaibi, who plays the central role in leading us into the infinite realm of creation transformation. In India, this being is called Kirtimukha, which means face of glory. Kirtimukha. However, this is not the original archetype of Dokkaibi culture. One must encounter Heodokkaibi to enter the central domain of the universe, the world of the great light of the cosmic creator. Now consider the three primal spirits of India: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They are seated upon or born from the lotus. What is this lotus? It is the Seonjeonggwa flower. The earlier archetype is the Muguk Seonjeonggwa flower. Now is the time to fully revive the Seonjeonggwa flower, the flower of light culture in the universe. Finally, let's visit Egypt, where an even more amazing flower of light culture exists.
The flower culture in Egypt. A flower of light culture from the grandmother Mago civilization manifests as lotus culture in meditation, art, and rituals. This is also found in Egypt, at the northern end of the African continent. Egyptians believed that the lotus, growing in the Nile, symbolized spring and resurrection. They also thought the lotus was a combination of water, sunlight, and soil, symbolizing the mysterious power of nature and the origin of creation. Above all, the lotus symbolizes the flower of light, wisdom, creation, fertility, regeneration, immortality, and royal authority. The lotus represents Upper Egypt, while the papyrus represents Lower Egypt. The lotus and papyrus together symbolize the unification of the two parts of Egypt. Such ideas can also be glimpsed in Egyptian mythology. Horus, the sun god, was born from a lotus as the son of Isis. In the Hunifer papyrus, 1317 to 1310 BCE, Osiris is seated on a throne by the purifying waters of the afterlife. A lotus blooms in pure water, and the four sons of Horus are born on its crown. Before the great god Osiris, killed by his brother Seth, lies the winged eye of Horus that resurrected him. Here, the lotus is an important symbol of resurrection and a new beginning. The most mysterious god related to flowers in Egyptian culture is Ra-Harakti, Horus of the horizon. In many cultures, the sun was believed to give life to all beings. This power, known as prana or chi, was cultivated by Egyptian priests and royalty. The bud-shaped sun rays on Ra-Harakti's head pour from white light as the priestess offers a sacrifice and performs a ritual, revealing remnants of the light culture of Mago Castle's Yulguk and of Hwanguk.
Rise like Nefertim from the blue water lily to the nostrils of Ra, the creator and sun god, and come forth upon the horizon each day.
According to the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Nefertim means lotus, and he is known as the Lord of Fragrance and guardian of Ra's nostrils. In other words, Nefertim is identified with breath. The Egyptians regarded breath as life both functionally and metaphysically. As in ancient Egypt, the lotus in Hindu and Buddhist traditions has long symbolized chakras, where energy accumulates and flows through the body to form and sustain life. This is also found in Egyptian tradition, where the hieroglyph for Nefer matches that for the heart and breath, appearing on amulets for youth, beauty, happiness, and luck.
Originating from Mago Castle,
the
the heart of the creative, transformative civilization of immortals, the flower of light culture, spread widely into India, Egypt, and Greece. This flow of culture is believed to have occurred during the era of the 12 Hwanguk states, through east-west exchanges. According to Hwandangogi, at the origin of archetypal culture lies the culture of light. When we receive this essence through a single flower of light, it brings healing to our bodies and minds steeped in darkness. It transforms anger and despair into joy and self-worth, rewrites a history of collapse into one of hope, and shifts a history of division into one of unity. This is the miraculous and dramatic drama of transformation, the true resurrection of the cosmic light culture of creation transformation. Through the Hwandangogi, we can now rediscover and trace the archetype of this historical and cultural heritage.
Experiencing the flower of light of the three primal spirits. Since ancient times, humanity had questions about the origin and meaning of existence. What is the origin of myself and the universe? What is the nature of God? What lies at the beginning and end of time and space? To answer them, humanity has explored nature's mysteries through religion, philosophy, art, literature, and science. For thousands of years, saints, sages, and philosophers from East and West have sought to unlock these mysteries and connect with the universe's deep origin. In the end, the universe they saw was a world of eternal light, with a radiant flower shining at the deepest reach of existence. God is a flower who goes on flowering and who is never going to be perfect. Man is a seed. God is a flowering. You cannot find the flower in the seed if you search for it directly. Among the saints of the early heaven, Shakyamuni Buddha grasped the cosmic depths where eternal light undulates. That enlightenment, the state of extinction without end, is ingrained in Buddhist thought as a whole. Unfortunately, because enlightenment eluded countless practitioners, the flower of light culture was eventually lost. The true nature of the universe is a single flower of white light. The flower of light culture, passed through silent awakenment, is the true archetype of humanity's spiritual culture. It reveals the archetype of culture and the reality of history. It can be verified in Hwandangogi, our ancient ancestors, who communicated with heaven and earth through flower of light meditation, founded and led nations of light, which are recorded in Hwandangogi. The essence of Hwandangogi lies in Hwan, cosmic light. Hwandangogi sings of eternal cosmic light, the basis of the universe and the boundless world of enlightenment. The eternally radiant light flower is expressed as Hwanhwa in Hwandangogi, and the human united with the light flower was called Ram. The one who unites with the three primal spirits, cosmic light, and serves them is Samram. Samram is the origin of Hwarang, known to all Koreans. The true value of Hwandangogi lies here. The flower of light culture, originating from humanity's archetypal culture of immortality, is finally revealing itself before us. The essence of enlightenment, Shakyamuni Buddha's subtle smile, and the flower of light, Hwanhwa. For the Hwandangogi Book Concert Season 4, here is the 10th cultural historical value, the true nature of the universe and spirits. Experience the three primal spirits, flower of light. Now is a pivotal moment of transformation in human civilization. Scholars like Jared Diamond, Noam Chomsky, Martin Rees, and Yuval Harari are all warning of disintegration and collapse of global civilization. When future crises arise, we can find answers in the past. Hwandangogi is a treasure trove of history, fully containing our ancestors' wisdom and spirituality, and a beacon of light for the future. Hwandangogi is not a book of borrowed knowledge, but one that enables us to experience the light of the universe directly. Only Hwandangogi possesses precious values of human history, organized into 10 themes. And as the final theme, let us directly experience the flower of light culture that enables us to access the cosmic light of the three primal spirits. By discovering humanity's primal culture and the true form of the universe, and by receiving a flower of white light, I hope you will open the gate between the early heaven and the later heaven and become a human flower.
Lastly, you will receive flowers of light, and as they descend, they will fall gently. Flowers of white light descend, followed by red and blue flowers. Place the three flowers inside your body, divide and combine them to form a 7-colored white flower of light. Finally, place the flower inside your head.
When the gate of Yulyo heaven opens, a white flower, which signifies Muguk, is received. Next, you will receive flowers of red and blue light, which signify Taeguk. The three flowers merge into a single multicolored flower of light. The white flower is about 13 centimeters wide, its stem about 15 centimeters long. The red and blue flowers are about 5 centimeters wide, their stems about 15 centimeters long. The three flowers are invisible because they are spiritual flowers from heaven. Grandmother Mago, the Empress of Grand Fulfillment, will bestow the white flower on your crown chakra. Imagine that this white flower enters your head slowly into your upper danjeon. Then meditate on dividing the white flower into countless smaller ones. During your dynamic meditation, keep dividing the flowers until they fill your entire body. Within minutes, you will divide the white flower into billions of smaller flowers. They become smaller as you continue to divide them. As you meditate, these flowers will fill all your inner space from your head to toe. They will even enter your cells, DNA, and quantum realm. After the division, move the flowers upward from your toes to your head, merging them into one. Inside your upper Gyeong-Jeon, merge the flowers with the original white flower. Then, send it to the top of your crown chakra. The white flower will become filled with the cosmic light of creation transformation. The ritual for receiving the flowers of red and blue light is the same as the ritual for the white flower. After receiving the flowers of white, red, blue light and praying for them to combine, they will merge into the rainbow color Seoul Hwanhwa.
This is a gift for you. You will understand Hwandangogi more deeply after receiving the flowers of light. Now, a flower will descend. The flower of white light will fall from heaven and gently land atop your head, carried by the wind of light. Then, with your thought, pull the flower into your head. As it enters your head, it divides into countless smaller flowers. Imagine these divided flowers filling your entire body. Now, trillions of smaller and smaller flowers fill your body. Imagine gathering these flowers and merging them as you bring them to your chest, head, and top of your head. Your thought is like a wish-fulfilling pearl, your sincere thought. Now imagine pulling the flower up to your head. Then, with your thought, remove the flowers of light through your crown chakra. The flower is now outside your head. Next, the flowers of red and blue light are descending gently and landing on the center of the white flower. They are cascading down softly. Imagine bringing the three flowers inside your head, pull them into your upper Gyeong-Jeon. As they enter your body, they instantly replicate into trillions of flowers. Imagine these divided flowers reaching your 60 trillion cells. Let's duplicate the flowers while listening to meditation music.
비굿이 됐는데 이걸
Now,
거두어가지고
gather the divided flowers of light from your whole body to merge them into one.
달려와 한 송이를 만들면서 자 온몸에를 팔다리를 거두어 온몸에
Move these flowers upward from your legs and arms to your chest, neck, and head, fusing the flowers together.
훔치 태울 천상원군 내 죄야 노래 니 암니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원군 내 죄야 노래 니 암니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원군 내 죄야 노래 니 암니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원군 내 죄야 노래 니 암니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원군 내 죄야 노래 니 암니 자, 이것을
Then, with your thought, send the flower outside, above your head.
빼내. 지금 나왔어. 쑥 빼내는 거야. 나이가
It can be challenging at first, especially for older people, those with illness, or those carrying trauma. But all you need to do is take the first step.
이제 한 송이 7가지 무지개 세계
Now the 3 flowers transform into a single flower of white light with 7 different hues.
조화로 한
It happens in an instant, in less than a second. They transform into a flower of white light.
자, 백광의 꽃으로
Now the transformation into the flower of white light is complete,
바뀌었어. 저
into a flower of white light with 7 different hues.
저 꽃을
By receiving this flower of light,
저 꽃을 받아내려서
you can transform yourself into a being of light.
빛으로 충만한 인간으로 만드는
With your Seolyowa, you can heal your body.
아주 특별한
I am now transmitting a very special meditation method.
자, 지금부터는
Now,
실습을
let's
하는데
begin the practice.
한화, 우주의
We will
원형
plant this
그것을
flower of light into our ailing parts.
아, 나는 뒤통수가 아프다. 입이 아프다.
If you have a headache, problems with your mouth, heart, liver, or uterus,
여러분 거기다 꽃을 생각으로
focus on those areas and plant Seolyowa flowers.
꽃을 여기 저기
Let's plant large flowers on various parts of your body.
두 번째
After planting Seolyowa flowers, they shine brightly.
분화되면서
The flowers divide into trillions of tiny flowers,
세포 단위까지
reaching your cells,
장자 단위까지
even the quantum realm inside them.
주문을 읽으면 이 꽃이
It's the nature of the flower of light.
무한
The flower of light can divide endlessly into smaller flowers and replicate continuously. And as it shrinks, it replicates itself again and again, endlessly.
그다음에 세 번째는
Lastly, the explosion of light begins. The countless flowers of light burst open, first in parts like flashes, pop, pop, pop.
그리고 전체는
Then all at once,
팡 이렇게
boom!
터지는 거야.
In that radiant explosion, the creative transformative energy of Yulyo is awakened, and your entire body is filled with deep healing.
자, 꽃을 심습니다.
Now let us plant the flower of light and let it shine brightly.
훔치 태울 천상원군 훔니치야 훔니 함니 사파 훔치 태울 천상원 훔니치야 노래 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 우리가 이제 전체적으로 보면은
Today, you have discovered that at the root of the culture in Hwandangogi, there lies the culture of light. By receiving a flower of light, you'll heal your body and mind. The Eastern Immortal School program is also airing on STB Sangsaeng Broadcasting. And so, together, we shall boldly overcome the coming disasters, diseases, hardships, and the turbulent tides of history. From this great trial, a new nation, Hwanguk, will rise and endure for the next 50,000 years of the later heaven. And with that, I conclude today's message, offering my heartfelt blessings that you may become the true leaders of this new era, the founders of the radiant nation to come. Thank you.